Hey everyone, so this video is going to be unedited. I'm actually filming with my phone and not my camera. For some reason I've already filmed this video twice, and for some reason I can't get the footage to every time I import it onto my computer to iMovie and edit, like I'll edit the whole thing. I've done that 3 times now because I tried the first video that I made. I edited that one twice and tried to upload it and it didn't work, so I refilmed it and imported it, edited, and tried to upload it to YouTube, and it failed. For some reason it keeps saying that the footage can't be uploaded because it's still being used by the camera. I don't know, some error message like that. I've tried to look at the Apple forums and see if anybody else has ever had that error message before, and everything that they had on there I've tried and nothing seems to work. So I don't know if it's my memory card. I don't know. I have another memory card, so I'm gonna try that one with the next video that I film. But I figured I would sit outside. We just bought a new patio set for our house, and I thought I would sit outside and do this video with my phone, and I would just upload it straight from my phone and not really worry about editing it. Once it gets edited, I will go ahead and put up a custom thumbnail, but as far as actually editing this video, it's pretty much going to be raw, I guess, raw footage or whatever you call it. So I wanted to come on here because I haven't seen you guys in a while, kind of let you guys know what's going on, why you haven't seen a video from me, what's going on in my life right now that has postponed my video posting schedule and things like that. I know we all get to know each other in this social media mix. I'm sorry if you hear cars in the background because we do have not high traffic on our road, but I mean there are cars from time to time that do pass by. So if you hear that, that's or if you hear that noise, that's what that is. So anyways, I wanted to come on here, like I said, and do this video, tell you guys what's been going on and things of that nature, because I haven't posted a video in a while. And there are a couple of people on here that I'm close with that already know what's been going on. So, but as far as everybody else, I wanted to come on and let you guys know what is going on with me. So, a couple of weeks ago, and I know if you've been a subscriber of my channel for a while, I did a video and I named it like why I can't have kids, or I can't have any more kids, something like that, and it was a vlog video. And that was true. Well, I mean, it's not that I can't have kids, it's just that I was told that it would be very hard for me to have any more kids. So I explained a little bit in that video how I was going to be an egg donor. I went to the fertility clinic for my first appointment. You get paid for that here in Georgia, you do anyways, and I got paid for that, and they just deduct it from the amount that you get at the end after you've donated your eggs. I wanted to do it because I've had infertility issues in the past, nothing like major, it's just, you know, hard for me to, you know, it's always been more difficult for me to get pregnant. I didn't think that it was like a big, you know, problem. I just thought maybe I didn't ovulate all the time or something like that. Well, when I went to that appointment, they do blood work, and basically, you know, they check for your egg count, things of that nature, because you have to be at a certain level in order to also donate. And when I got that call back, and this will be a little repetitive to some of you, especially if you've already watched that video, because I kind of already talk about this in that video. But I get that call, basically, to make a long story short, if you're more interested in hearing a little bit more about that, go watch that video. I talk more in depth about it. But my levels were just really low, so I was declined for being a candidate for egg donation. So, and then I got on the phone with a fertility doctor, and he kind of explained what and why it, you know, are the causes of me having issues, especially at a young age or a younger age. And hopefully the wind doesn't bother you. It was supposed to rain, but they changed the forecast. But now it kind of looks like it might. So I just wanted to sit out here and do this video because it's really peaceful and it's not hot right now, and it's quiet. So my kids are napping right now, which is another thing I wanted to touch base on, because I did get a comment on one of my videos saying that because they heard my kids in the background, that I should have paused the video and took care of my kids because my son was screaming, "Help me." And let me tell you something, I never film videos if my kids are up and I'm home by myself with them, ever. My kids are my first priority, not YouTube. Obviously, as you can tell, I haven't posted because of this issue I've been going with that I'm about just to talk to you guys about. YouTube is not my first priority. My family, my kids, definitely my kids, and then my husband, and then my family, and then YouTube. If it's nothing health-wise, then obviously that will come in before. But I never film my videos if they're awake and I'm by myself. If you catch them in the background of my videos, 100% of the time somebody is with them. Whether it's my husband, my mother-in-law, somebody is with them. Now, my kids are at the age, my son will be 3 on Sunday, and my daughter will be 2 on June 22nd. They are at the age now where they just want mommy. And so when you hear them kind of carrying on in the background, they just want me. Like, it's nothing, it's not that they're by themselves, it's not that they're alone. They're being well taken care of, I promise you that. So if you hear my kids in the background, that's just what it is. They're not, you know, they're not by themselves, so you do not have to worry about that. I just kind of wanted to touch base a little bit about that. I mean, I don't know if some people film, you know, I mean, that's everyone's, you know, that's your business, not mine. I don't film without my kids being watched unless they're napping, like I said. And in that case, I can hear them. Their rooms are not far from the door. I can hear when they get up. So, and that's the only time. And this is why I try to do my videos fairly quickly if it's in the middle of the day, because 9 times out of 10 they are napping. So other than that, I do them either when there's, you know, either when I put them down at night or in the morning before they get up, or when somebody is with them. So that is how that works. So again, you do not have to worry about my kids being alone. So I just wanted to touch base on that, because it wasn't necessarily a negative comment. I just think that they were concerned, but I promise you don't have to be concerned about my kids. So anyways, back to what I come on here to do a video about. This may be a long video. I apologize if it is. If you are wondering where I've been, this is why, where, and why. So anyways, this happened probably about, because I was doing my videos too when I was in the process of finding out everything. I was still posting. But a few weeks back, I missed my period, and that's not anything too new for me, because since my daughter was born, well, let me back up a little bit. When my son was born, my periods were like bam, bam, bam every month. Like, and I had not had that before him. My periods have always been so irregular and crazy that I never know when I'm going to get it or when I'm not going to get it. So I never worried about that before. Well, after I had my son, my periods straightened up. They were bam, bam, bam. And if you don't like, little disclaimer, if you don't like talking about periods or anything like that, go ahead and click out of this video, because that's mainly what this video is going to be about. So if that's, if blood and things trigger you, you might want to click out of this video. So anyways, my periods were back, you know, after I had my son, they were bam, bam, bam every month. So by the 5th month, and we had already got the clearance for the doctor, I immediately knew when I was pregnant with my daughter. And then after I had my daughter, my periods were just whacked out again. I never know when I'm going to get them. They could last a month, they could last 5 days, they could last 3 months. It just all depends. Like, and it's not full-blown bleeding. A lot of times it's just spotting. So I knew there was something not right, because I mean, that's not normal. But I never went and got it like checked or anything like that. So about a couple of months ago, my sister found out that she had quite a bit of precancerous cells, which scared me in return. So I went and made an appointment with my doctor and got checked up, which everything was fine. I did tell her about my periods and things like that. So, and she said that's not normal. So we scheduled another appointment the following week to do a saline test to check for polyps, because the rest of my cultures and blood work came back normal. So she wanted to also do a culture of my inner lining and also look for polyps. So the following week I went in, we did that, everything looked fine. I didn't have any cysts or any polyps. She took the cultures, and then we scheduled another appointment for 6 weeks after to recheck to make sure there isn't anything new or whatever. So that was 6 weeks. So she called me a week later, and she told me that if my tests were negative, that it was most likely a hormonal problem, and we would try to see if birth control would correct it. So I got the results back a week later. Those tests were fine. So she called in birth control. So I went and picked that up from the pharmacy, and she said once I started my period to start taking that. So here's the thing, like, I never got my period, so I knew that was weird. I always got my period. I've never missed it. It just depended on how long it usually lasted. But I always got something. Well, I didn't get anything, so I was like, okay, well, I didn't really want to spend the money on a pregnancy test, but I was like, okay, so I went to Walmart and I was like, I'll just buy a cheap one, and then I'll buy a pack of first response, because I went online and got a $3 off coupon. So I was like, well, that makes them $5. It's a little bit easier. I'll buy an 88-cent one too. So that's what I did. I bought an 88-cent first signal test. It was negative. So I waited the next morning. I never got anything. I took a first response and it was like bam, positive. And I do have that test. I'm actually gonna, I didn't bring it out here with me, so I can't show you, but it'll be on my thumbnail. So it was like bam, positive, which was a total complete shock to me. But when I got those first rounds of blood work from the first appointment, my doctor wasn't sure why my blood work was like that at the fertility clinic, because she said my levels were fine for my egg count. So I have no idea what's going on there. I can't believe I went through that and I had discussions with the fertility doctor and things like that. So this is kind of like so bizarre to me. Well, when I called my doctor and told her that I got the positive pregnancy test, I hadn't got my period yet, so I couldn't obviously start the birth control. She was like, okay, well, that's wonderful. We don't have to go through this. Just don't take the birth control, obviously. Start your prenatals, and we'll make an appointment for 2 weeks from now. So my 6-week appointment was on May 2nd, and my OB appointment, we canceled that one, and my new appointment was on April 29th, which was a Friday. And so I go in, well, actually back it up. That past weekend, actually it was that Friday before the weekend, I had started cramping a little bit, but I didn't think anything was wrong or anything like that, because with my daughter's pregnancy, I had that, and I actually had bleeding with her too. And then when around the 17-week mark, I had a gush of bleeding that I had to go to the emergency room with, because I thought that I was losing the baby, but it happened to just be a polyp. So I have had bleeding in the past, you know, in my past pregnancies, so I wasn't really concerned about it. I had cramping before my past pregnancy, so I wasn't really concerned about it. So Saturday rolls around, I'm still cramping a little bit, and then I started spotting. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not gonna call about it, you know, yet. I'm just spotting. It was very light pink, nothing to be concerned about. Nothing even got on the panty liner. That's how light it was. And so I went to bed that night, got up the next morning, and the cramping had stopped. So I just thought, you know, well, that's it. You know, everything is okay. By that evening, I could tell, like, I wasn't feeling well. Something was not right. And I started bleeding. So I was like, okay, that's not normal, but it wasn't heavy blood. It was bright red, but it wasn't, and I had clotting too, but it wasn't so heavy to where I was concerned about it. I knew I had my doctor's appointment that next Friday, so I was like, there's no sense in me going into the emergency room. I told my husband, you know, if I'm losing the baby, there's nothing they can do to stop it. Unless I'm bleeding profusely, there's no sense in us spending the money, because our deductible is a lot more expensive at the emergency room than it is the doctor. So I was just like, let's just wait. By Monday morning, the bleeding had slowed back down to spotting. So I was like, okay, well, I just had something, you know, everything is fine. So I called my doctor just to clarify with her, you know, and let her know what was going on and things like that. I got a call back that Monday afternoon from the nurse, and she told me that she advises me to go to the emergency room, which I told her the bleeding has now stopped. I don't really think there's anything that they could do. I just wanted to let my doctor know what was going on so that she was aware of what was going on, you know, just to inform her. So anyways, they followed up with me Tuesday just to make sure the bleeding was still stopped, and it was. So let's see, by Friday I go into my appointment. They, you know, do the standard blood pressure, pregnancy test. The lady had come in the room and said, you know, your pregnancy test is negative. This was an OB appointment, you know, and I was like, well, it shouldn't be negative. Like, that's so weird. I know I had the bleeding, but I didn't think I lost the baby. And I showed her my pregnancy test, and she's like, oh yeah, that's crazy. And so she said, well, in some cases I'll go back. These are pretty cheap tests that they use, so sometimes I'll go back and it'd be positive. So she said, well, let me talk to your doctor, because we do usually do an ultrasound, in which the doctor had already told me on the phone that we may not see anything this soon, because we can't pinpoint where it actually like ovulated. So she said I could be a week or two like difference, or what, I don't know, whatever. I didn't think so, because when I took the first response test, it was pretty positive. So I thought by 2 weeks after that we should see something. But anyways, so the lady was like, well, let me go ask her what she wants to do. So she comes back like almost immediately, and she's like, oh yeah, it's totally positive. So I don't know if she just like put the P on there and was like, oh, it's negative, and then walked away. I have no idea what she did, but anyways, the test was positive. So they put me in the ultrasound room. They do the ultrasound. We couldn't see anything. They did find my left ovary, which they couldn't the last time I had a ultrasound, which was pretty weird. But she just said that it was like high up, so I don't know what's with that. But anyway, sorry if I'm talking pretty fast. Like, I'm so numb to the situation still that like I can talk about it. I'm not gonna get emotional on camera or anything like that. I've already cried so much about this and things like that. I'm just talking pretty quickly because, like I said, my son's birthday is Sunday, so I'm in the process of baking him his cake while they were napping too, so I'm trying to talk fast so I don't burn the cake too, but I wanted to get this video up for you guys too. So anyways, yeah, we couldn't see anything. She goes over to my right ovary and there's this like massive cyst, which I've never had cysts before, so I thought that was so super strange. And the doctor, after we didn't see anything, so the doctor, we went back into the exam room. I sat down with the doctor and she was just like, you know, it's a possibility that this is a ovarian pregnancy. A lot of times when we see masses like that in your ovaries, that's what it could be. We don't see a sac yet or anything in your uterus or in there, so that's a good sign, but I just want to prepare you for what it could be. So she's like, well, we're going to do blood work today, and then I want you to come back Monday and do it again so that we can look at your levels. If your levels are going down, then she said, I'm pretty sure you know, obviously when you had that bleeding, you miscarried. And then she said, if your levels are like at 600 and then you come back and they're only at a 900 or 800, then that's abnormal. We need to find the baby. And if that's where the baby is, then we need to give you the methotrexate shot to allow your body to absorb the pregnancy, because obviously a pregnancy in your ovaries is not viable. So I was like so stressed out, so worried. I got my blood work done then. I go back Monday and get it again, or do it again, and then she calls me Tuesday and says, well, your levels are really, really low. I don't know yet if they're going to go up. We're still going to wait for your next blood work to come back, and we'll go over it more then. So she kind of sounded concerned, but she didn't really say she was. And that worried me too, because I figured my levels should have been a lot higher. And then, so she calls Wednesday and she tells me that they are indeed going down, that when I had the clotting and the bleeding, that I did miscarry the baby. And you know, she just asked me how I was and things like that. I mean, the good news is the baby wasn't in a place that, you know, that I had to get shots or have surgery, even though having a pregnancy that soon, usually the methotrexate shots, you know, will allow you not to have the surgery. Usually it's when you're further along. In some cases in your ovary anyways, obviously if the baby's in your fallopian tubes, it's not going to get past, you know, very far, because that's such a small, you know, thing that it's in and your baby's growing. But yeah, so sorry, my brain is so scattered too. So we did lose the baby. That's what's been going on. The stickers that I was telling you guys about were pregnancy stickers that I had designed. I will still be sharing those with you guys because I do like the design and I really like how they turned out. So I'm still going to share those with you. But that's where I've been. I've been taking a break off of YouTube because just to spend more time with my kids and my family and things like that. It's been pretty hard, this loss. We did have a 17-week loss before we got pregnant with my son. So this is our second loss, not in a row. So the doctor said once I get my first cycle or my first period that we can try again after that. I haven't got it yet. So I'm just waiting on that to come so that we can try again. This is going to be our last pregnancy, or it was going to be our last pregnancy. Now obviously we're going to try again. But she said that there was nothing to worry about since we didn't have 2 losses in a row, which is a good thing. So we're just taking it one day at a time. I am going to get back on a posting schedule now. I've allowed myself some time to heal, time, you know, to spend with my kids, to regather my thoughts and things like that. I obviously was not in the creative mindset and even planning mood. I haven't even opened my planner since I found that out. Um, so I have just not been in the planning creative mindset, so that's another reason why I haven't posted. But now that I feel rejuvenated, I feel better about this, you know, not, I'm still obviously really sad, but I feel better now that I've allowed myself to heal some and things, that I'm going to get back onto a posting schedule. I know before my posting schedule was Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I think, just to start out, I think I may only post on Mondays and Fridays, or maybe just Fridays for now. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do just yet. It's probably going to be Monday and Fridays though. If not, then it will be Fridays. So it'll either be one or the other, just to slowly kind of get back into it. And then after a few weeks of that, then I'll start adding the other day. So that's how that's gonna work. It was nice talking to you guys. That's what's been going on with me. I hope you all are well, and everything with your families are going well. I have missed you guys so much. I know I have some new subscribers, and I'm glad you guys can join. Sorry you kind of caught me at a bad time, but I promise there's going to be a lot of new videos coming up. I have a lot of ideas from before this, and I've been on Pinterest looking for my son's birthday, and I made my mother-in-law something for Mother's Day that I wanted to share with you guys too. It's a DIY that I thought was really, really cool. So I'm going to be sharing that with you guys, but I have a lot of stuff I want to share now, so look forward to that. And like I said, I hope you all are well, and I will talk to you soon.